We're back with CFL Hall of Famer and four-time Grey Cup champion Moe Racine here on Sports on Cue. And number 62. I mean, some players, there's reasons why they've got particular numbers, personal preferences. Why 62, Moe?
62 is a quick story, is that when the league came out of a sudden the centers were in their 40 numbers, the guards were 50s, and the tackles were 60. And I had my number when I went there, I was a 59, and the guard beside me had number 62, so we had to switch the sweaters, and I became number 62, and that's how I ended up with number 62.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the players and some of the all-time greats that you played against. I guess first and foremost, going back to 58, how was it meeting the one, the only Frank Clair?
It was quite interesting because Frank Clair liked me from day one. I don't know what, when I went on the field, and I must have showed something, because right away they signed me. So, and the big line coach, for not 17 years because he passed away, but 5 or 6 years, never said a word to me. Yell at me, give me and all that kind of stuff, you know. And in those days, that's all they did was yell at you. But like one of my good friend, an American, says, Mo, if he's yelling at you, he likes you. So if he stops yelling, you'll be out the door. So he said, let him yell at you. If he tells you to run someplace, you run someplace. He tells you to do this, you do it, and you shut your mouth and you stay around. So I did for all those years, and I learned that very young. They run the show, the coaches, and you followed them, and it was a great career.
You followed them.
Right or wrong, and you followed them. And Frank Clair was a good coach. I mean, during the week he was well prepared. During the game, sometimes he'd get kind of fuzzy because he gets so darn excited that he'd end up with 2 cigarettes in his mouth on the sideline. So but he was a great coach and great motivator, and plus he had some good ball players in those days too. And in 1958, when I went there's about 4 or 5 players from Queen's University ended up with the Riders. And Jackson
Ronnie Stewart?
came, yeah, Ronnie Stewart, Tom Bainan, Lou Bruce, Gary Schreider. There was quite a few from Queen's University that ended up with the Riders in 1958, and there I was. They were older than I was, a couple of years, but I was with them, and we played for a good 10 years together.
Ronnie Stewart. I believe back in the 60s there, actually, CFL or NFL had one of the biggest days, over 200 yards.
I think it was 257 yards at the time. That
and it was surpassed any NFL record as well.
In Montreal, he had one heck of a day.
And a diminutive, small runner, but what was Ronnie like? Was he a character, or was he a serious guy?
Very serious and quiet. He went about his business, but could he run and block?
And block as well, despite his size.
Yeah, because I remember when I was at the offensive line in those days, they could crack back on you. If I had trouble against a big lineman that I played against, and I just wink at Ron, and there was a passing play, and early in the first quarter, and he'd come and take their legs from under him. So after a couple of those, I noticed when you're pass blocking that the guy was looking to see if Ronnie was coming. So he could hit, but he could run. But he was so small, running hard, that it was hard to tackle. But he was a strong man. He was small, but he was strong. Pair of legs on him.
The big general, Russ Jackson. I mean, Russ Jackson, I believe he was out of McMaster University, and he was a teacher. I don't know if he finished that up during his playing days. So, for instance, Mo, if somebody happened to, which obviously wouldn't have happened very often, got by you, Russ say anything or give you a look or anything? Or what was Russ Jackson like?
No, when somebody go by me, I'd just yell, look out. That's just so sometimes when I meet him, he'll say, hi, Mo, look out.
I see.
No, because a good quarterback will never do that to his lineman, because if he has sometimes quarterbacks have bad bad games too. So you know, they don't hit their receiver or something like that and lose a game. But we won more than we lost in Ottawa with him. So because I was there when they sent Lancaster to Saskatchewan, there was
that's right too.
a lot of the players wanted Lancaster to stay, and Frank kept Jackson. It was a good move because both quarterbacks did well.
Yeah, it's almost like a situation enviable, but a problem. You got two number ones on the same team. Was Russ younger at the time? Did that be part of the decision, or not necessarily?
No, they were pretty well about the same age. They came. Lancaster was younger. Lancaster was a better passer in those days than Russ. Russ became a very good passer in the last 4 or 5 years that he played. He could run better than Lancaster, but they were both good quarterback, but they couldn't keep both of them.
Right.
Because there was controversy.
And then Ron got his payback in 1966
That's
when
right.
him and George Reed beat you guys in your only
Yeah,
loss.
it was that George Reed and up to the center. He was a good halfback or fullback, and he could run hard. He's pretty well the guy that beat us, that we couldn't stop him. So.